The Emotional Vocabulary Series by Duenas. Today we will discuss the emotion of critical, or being critical. Why do we sometimes fixate on flaws, and how can we balance constructive feedback with empathy? Explore the emotion of being critical, its roots, its effects, and how to foster understanding. Introduction. Being critical involves focusing on flaws or shortcomings in oneself, others, or situations. While constructive criticism promotes growth and improvement, excessive criticism can strain relationships and erode self-esteem. Understanding the roots of criticism is essential for fostering empathy and balance. Including critical in our emotional vocabulary allows us to recognize its role and develop strategies for expressing it constructively. Definitions of being critical. Layman's definition of being critical. Being critical means focusing on faults or imperfections in people, situations, or outcomes. Clinical definition of being critical. Criticism refers to an evaluative and often negative emotional response, characterized by a focus on perceived shortcomings or failures. Perception and expression in everyday contexts of being critical. Criticism is expressed through verbal feedback, nonverbal cues, or internal judgments. In psychological theory, it reflects underlying desires for improvement, control, or validation. Origins of the emotion of critical. Evolutionary roots of being critical. Critical thinking evolved as a survival mechanism, enabling humans to assess threats, solve problems, and improve strategies. Cultural dimensions of being critical. Cultural norms influence how criticism is expressed. Some societies value direct feedback, while others prioritize diplomacy and positivity. Biological mechanisms of being critical. Criticism involves heightened activity in the prefrontal cortex, which governs evaluative thinking and decision-making. Effects of being critical. Effects of being critical on our psyche. Excessive criticism fosters self-doubt, anxiety, and reduced self-esteem. Constructive criticism promotes self-awareness and growth. Effects of being critical in our daily life. Being overly critical shapes habits, such as perfectionism or avoidance of challenging tasks. Effects of being critical on our family and friends. Criticism within relationships creates tension, but can also foster growth when expressed empathetically. Effects of being critical in our workplace. Constructive criticism drives improvement, while excessive negativity undermines morale and collaboration. Effects of being critical on our freedom. Being overly critical limits personal freedom by fostering self-imposed limitations and fear of failure. It is important to delve into the effects of being critical on personal freedom, for that matter. Being overly critical can restrict personal freedom by fostering self-imposed limitations and creating a negative mindset. When individuals habitually criticize themselves or others, they often become trapped in a cycle of doubt and negativity, which inhibits their ability to take risks or embrace new opportunities. This critical mindset can lead to a fear of failure and a reluctance to try new things, as the constant evaluation of potential shortcomings overshadows the potential for growth. Additionally, excessive criticism can alienate others, eroding relationships and diminishing the support networks that are vital for personal freedom and success. Furthermore, the societal impacts of a critical culture needs also to be examined in more detail. On a broader scale, a culture of excessive criticism can stifle innovation and collective progress. In environments where critique outweighs encouragement, individuals may hesitate to share new ideas or take bold actions for fear of judgment. This hinders creativity and collaboration, essential components of societal freedom and advancement. While constructive criticism is crucial for improvement, An overly critical approach can foster hostility and divisiveness, making it difficult to build trusting communities. To preserve freedom, both individually and collectively, it is essential to strike a balance between critical evaluation and constructive support, fostering an environment that encourages growth rather than to inhibit it. Examples. Personal story. A perfectionist parent struggles with being overly critical of their child's achievements, eventually learning to balance feedback with encouragement. Societal behavior. Public criticism of policies often drives political reforms, but can also polarize discussions. Historical event. The Renaissance was fueled by critical evaluations of art, science, and philosophy, leading to innovation and progress. Challenges in mental health to deal with being critical. Excessive criticism contributes to anxiety, stress, and difficulty forming trusting relationships. It promotes negativity and hinders emotional well-being. Management and mitigation. Strategies. Reframing techniques. Focus on strengths alongside areas for improvement. Therapy. Counseling addresses underlying tendencies toward excessive criticism. Communication training. Learning empathetic feedback fosters healthier interactions. Resources. Books on effective communication and feedback, support groups for perfectionism or negativity, and counseling services for navigating critical tendencies. Conclusion. Being critical is a natural response that, when managed constructively, fosters growth and understanding. By recognizing its role and impacts, individuals can balance criticism with empathy and encouragement. Furthermore, emotional intelligence around criticism empowers us to build stronger relationships and improve ourselves and others without negativity. This was the emotion of critical, or being critical, from the Emotional Vocabulary series by Duenas.